everybody and welcome to the flower patch. I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Well, I hope you're all enjoying the English weather, everybody. The nice lovely sunshine. Enjoy it while it's here, because we don't get very much hot weathers in the UK. So I'm very busy today, so I'm going to crack on with what we're going to do. I'm going to do a wreath on a 14-inch grapevine wreath, and we're just going to add in some lilacs and some whites on a wreath. I've got my grapevine wreath here, and I've got a piece of string to create my hook. I'm going to be bringing the camera down as I usually do, so you can get a better view. And but first of all, we're going to go through what I've got. Now, I've been rummaging in my storage and found some wreaths that I haven't sold. So I spent yesterday taking them all apart, and I've put all the oddments in a box. So I've got to go through all those, put new picks on everything, and hopefully, wash them, clean them and everything, and put them back in my buckets. And it is a big box. Well, I say big. It's probably about 28 inches wide by 28 inches, and it's about that much fall away from the top. So I've got to go through all of those. But today, what we're going to use for our foliage, I've got out of the box that I had. I thought I'd get a few bits out. So I've got out some of the watermelon leaf, what was on one of the wreaths, and I've already placed new picks on these. I've all washed them all down, sprayed them with antibacterial spray as well before, and let them dry before I'm actually, going to reuse them. That's just something I tend to do when I'm, if I've took something apart and I decide to place them back on picks, I do wash them all again to make them clean and also smell fresh with the antibacterial spray. So we've got that. I've pulled out from one of my buckets and placed singular on picks as well. Some of our dusted ruscus. I was going to say focus. Here we go. So I've got some of those, and I've also pulled out some grass as well. I thought we could add a bit of grass in this time with it having the spiky bits on, add some nice spiky texture along with the soft, smooth shaped leaves. And talking of spiky, I thought, again, I've pulled these off and prepared these, pulled them off of the big bunch because they come on a big bunch, and took them off individually and placed these on picks also to use. And these are our spiky fern in a limey green colour, and they are beautiful. And with them being a limey green, with the dark green foliage, they really do, come alive. And this was off one of the wreaths again that I took apart, and I've washed all this, some of my laurel, and it's also been sprayed as well. That we're going to perhaps put that in and use maybe as filler or just place on the wreath. It is beautiful stuff, this. I've also got 3 new stems of our ruscus. I thought our dark ruscus, with it having movement, and it would look lovely as soon as a bit of breeze or wind, it will move in the wind. So I like that sort of thing. So we've got those also. Now, I've only got 2 hydrangeas out. And these, they've got my name on it, the flower patch. I've got these out in this colour, like a dusky bluey green with very light lilac. And I'm considering using one in the centre, and then with the other one, pulling them off and placing those on picks and dotting them around the wreath. So I haven't done that, just so I can show you new beginners you know, how I do that. So we've got 2 of those. Let me just bring all these. And of course, for movement on the outside, why can't we have our little white calla lilies again? My sister loves these. So she's ordered some in abundance. So we've got these, and we're going to place these also around the sides. Now, I've got this off of a wreath. I forgot what it's called. I can't remember the name of it, guys. I've had it a while, and again, it's been on that wreath, and I've washed them again and sprayed them. So we're going to use those to go more on the inside of the wreath, because the stems aren't long on these. So you can take them off individually and have one, you know, 1 or 2 pieces on a pick. But because they're so tiny, I don't think I wish to do that. I'd rather keep these as this sort of thing as a cluster. I've got out also some of our purple and lilac astilbe. Isn't that pretty? I love this astilbe. So we've got that, and I thought we can add those. I've also got out a stem of our little mini lilac roses, and I thought, I'm not saying we will use these, I've just got these ones as backup in case I think it may be needed, but I've got these out just in case. And I've also got the last few pieces, I don't know, it's got a number on it, take the tag off, the last few pieces of this little like wildflower with its little foliage, and I think it's very pretty, very like a cottagey look, but it's lovely, lovely tone. So we've got that one. Now I found these, and I only bought 2 stems of these last year, and I've not used them yet. So I thought I may add some of these little wild little daisies in as well. So maybe just because they, you know, as one stem like that, and dot those around. We'll see with these as well. And I've also got out for some lovely, I love this, some snow willow, and I thought this would, very twiggy, on a twiggy branch, very realistic, the branch, and I thought we could incorporate that perhaps around the top of the wreath as well. And finally, I've got some more of my white dahlias out to go with all the lilac colours of the flowers. So I thought that would look pretty as well. So it's of a how can I put this? When you use like lilacs and that, it's quite a nice pastel lilac. This is more like a dusky lilac colour scheme that it's going to be today. Not an actual really pretty pastel. It's going to be a pretty dusky purple or lilac. So that's what we've got today. So we're going to start off. I'm going to bring those there. I'm going to bring the camera down, guys, so we can start our project. One moment. So I'm going to bring you in. Let's see if I bring it around here like that. So first of all, oh, I've lost my shoe. First of all, let's get our hook on. Now I use string. You can use wire, Chanel sticks, or pipe cleaners, or things like that for your hook, or even ribbon. So I just place it, I fold it in half, so you've got the loop there. Place the loop under, and then put the 2 tail ends through the loop, and then just pull. And then I leave a bit, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and then I tie a knot. And that will be then, so I'm creating a loop for the customer to be able to hang it up. With the excess, I cut a bit off and leave a bit at the top. So now I've created a loop here for it to be hung. Now, once I do the wreath, if it's sort of like heavy on one side here, the reason I do my loops, my hooks like this is so then I can just take it apart and move it here to bring it the weight back up. So that's why I do the loops like that. So it's easy to maneuver if it's not looking correct. So you may have some bits sticking out of your wreath. If you feel you want to tidy them up, you can. See, this wreath's got like where they wrap the wood around it, the twig, it's sort of like got big gaps here. So I tend to just snip that off, and I have some binding wire that I will just place a little bit on here where that was, and then just twist it to hold it in. So it's not going to be falling apart or being a bit too loose in that area. And then I just get the end of it and then just pop that inside of the wreath. So you can check around like here as well. So let's cut that one off. You don't have to do it like this, you can leave that on, but you know, I tend to sometimes, if I feel it's a bit loose, I will place, cut it off and place a piece of binding wire on instead. Like so. There's a little, you can tidy it up if you don't like, you know, bits sticking out. I don't mind, but some occasions I do tidy them up if they're a bit too much. So that's our wreath done. I have got some ribbon out. I'm not sure if I want to do a bow because we're using the big hydrangea, so I may not do a bow. But first of all, let's get in our ruscus. So I'm going to chop this into 3 pieces. And we're going to start where my hook is, and I'm going to be placing them going, because I'm going from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I place my stems towards 9 o'clock. But from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, you place your stems going up towards 9 o'clock. So I'm just going to do this. I always tend to like to go just under the hook to start with the first one. Just bring it out. Again, as you can see, I'm going towards 9 o'clock. And I'm doing it in a zigzag, going out, in, out, in, just so I can, you know, get it covered and balanced. Where it all looks filled. So then this one would be on the outer side, like so. And then I bring this one in. So I'm going to do that going all the way. So that's like so. You can lift up your stems just to give them that movement, you know, that volume. And then now I'm here, I've got a little piece here I want to bring out at 9 o'clock. Oops, a daisy, got a bit of glue. I may need to grab another one. Now, as you can see, I'm bringing my stems up towards 9 o'clock. Just lift that up, give it that movement. I may need another one here. So let me just grab another one, guys. I can get them. Oh my gosh, I've got everything over it. I wonder if I've got any ornaments. Oh, what's that? Oh no, it's attached. I'll just bring a new stem. I think we're going to need maybe one here just to fill this little area up as well. And we'll bring that one there. Like that. So now we've got our ruscus, all movement in it, all in our wreath. Just all from here, all around. So I've got our fern as well, where I want to bring the fern on top of the ruscus with it having that lime green. It looks beautiful set against it instead of having it under where it will be hidden. So I'm going to bring it on top. Again, I'm going to lift it to give it that movement. Let me cut a few. And again, I'm going to bring, so it's going in and out. So that was in, this one was on the outer side. Now I'm going to place this one on the inner side. Again, with my stem going down towards 9 o'clock. just place that one there. And we'll do the same here. More on the outer side. Again on the inside. Like so. I could do one and place that just coming out here just to finish this off because it's a big gap here. Then just like that. So that's now with our lovely spiky fern. I'll hold those onto those in case I may want to add a bit more of those in later throughout. So I'll place those there. Now I do again have these. I think I've only bought. I think I may want one on either end, and then perhaps one either side where we're going to put our hydrangea. There, doesn't that look pretty? I ordered these guys, and because I had to order them from my wholesaler, which it only does trade, they've printed my name on my business on the tag, the flower patch. Isn't that lovely of them? It states here the tone of the hydrangea, two-tone blue and green. I said it looked like it got a bit of blue in it. Blue and green, sorry, blue. Blue and green and lilac. So let's just take that off. So we're going to place one of these on each end, which will be here and then here. Again, adding that little different piece of, you know, nice soft texture, but bigger leaf, you know. Also, I always, you know, size is also an important aspect of arrangement, you know, flower arranging. To balance it, mix bigger leaves with smaller. And then because that will sit, let's get that around here. So I will bring this one here. And then the other one, the opposite side. So there we go. So now we've got those in, I'm going to cut the hydrangea. Let me just tidy the stem and make it so it's much easier to get in. So let's see, around here. They are very thick stems, but the quality is exceptional, very realistic. Even the leaf is actually, you don't get many leaves on the hydrangea that are wired in the centre. But they are slightly wired, not with too much of a, you know, a thick wire. So let me just move some of this. And that will sit. And bring that wire there, that leaf there. Isn't that pretty? Look at that, guys. Doesn't that look pretty? So we'll do the other one at a, you know, slightly later stage. Now I want to get in some of our snow willow. And with this, I want to bring some coming up. I've got, oh, you only get these on one stem, but if you can see the stem, it is very much like a twig, a proper branch that it come on, very realistic. So I like to see things like that. So I'm going to put, I'm going to put this one here. Now this is quite a long piece. You can obviously cut these in half. So I'm going to move that flower from the bottom if I can. Yeah. And then there's a spare little prong here, as you can see at the top. So I'm moving this flower up to the top because there's a bit, it's slightly a little bit bare from this to the top. And then I'll cut that little piece off at the bottom. So I'm going to bring this one coming out from the top here, nice and long and wispy. Let me just give a little bit of a bend on it. And again, you can pull these out actually. So I've got another one of these I'll place on the opposite side of here. And I've got this one, I could bring that one in the centre. So it has got like 3 around here. And then I want another long one down at the bottom. So has that got a prong at the top? No. So I'll bring the other one coming down this way. Like so, and I think now because we've done that, I would like one around here and then one around there. I've got a piece of wood that is scraping. Let's just snip that way off and that. So let's have a look. I may bring these two. I could pull hopefully this one off. Yeah. So I'll bring one here and then I'll bring the other one here. Let me just bend that one a little bit more down this way. It's not really catching on anything. That's better. So we've got that one there, and then we'll bring the other one just down here as well. So now we've got that in. I don't need this piece. If I did, I may bring it inwards. So, but we'll place that to the side. So we've got our grasses. Again, I want to add in the grass. So we'll do that as well. Let's just cut the stems. These are push-ups. I love the grass because I love the spikiness. And again, I'm going to bring one just slightly there. Like that. And then I'm going to, as you can see, there's a gap here. So we're going to add one in there as well. And one around where the laurel is. And again, you don't just have to have them everything on the outside, you can bring things on the inside. I'm going to place one here around the hydrangea, and then one on here around the hydrangea as well. I'm moving it around, and then I'm going to place one around here, and then the last one I will bring around there. So that's what we have with now our grasses in as well. Isn't that pretty? Now I've got again the watermelon, and I want to be bringing that in just around the bottom here. So we'll do that a little bit later. Now what shall we put in? Let's see what we can do with these. We will bring our astilbe one here on the ends. Again, I always place floral right on the ends around here as well, you know, to finish it off so you don't forget it and it just looks like you've just got greenery. You know, bring a bit of floral in as well. And I've only got 5 out of these. And I'm going to place one near the hydrangea. And I'm sitting these, they're more at an angle laying down. These ones are more sat upright and sticking up. To give that volume around the hydrangea. So, and I've got one left which I will put here, or I can bring it here. I don't want to bring it in here because these are more around the centre and it will look like they're just here and you'll notice it and it'll be quite, you know, so I'll bring it on the outer side. Excuse me. So we've got those in. And it's like these. Look how pretty they are. Right, let's get in some of our dahlias. Now again, I'm going to want one round the end. On each end of the wreath as well. Again, give that more of a balanced look. And, you know, and to allow it to flow. Oops, a daisy. So we'll do one here. As well. Then I shall bring one. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Right, so I don't think I'll use all 7. I'm not sure yet. So I'll bring another one. Here. I may bring one in here either side there. Just add that there. I did that one. Bring one further out from the side as well, in the centre where our, oops a daisy, I keep missing. So I've placed that one on the right on the side here. So now I've got the 2 left and I'm going to bring these in. Let's take some of the leaves off to give them, to shorten them. So I'll place that one there. do the same. There as well. So we've done it like that. Now with these, I don't know whether I want to break them up or keep them as a cluster, or a bit of both maybe. Let's have a look as a cluster. That's quite pretty like that. There's only 4. Oh, mind you, 3. That's a little one, so I'll use that one in the centre. So I'll bring that one here. So let's get that one in, because it's only got just a couple of sprags, or sprigs should I say, on it. We'll just have that, so it's just leaning in. So now with these, I'll bring one here. Oops. Then I'll take that one down here, and again I'll bring one here. I've got a bit much glue on there. Got like that. I'm going to like so, and then this one down here as well. They're not push-ups, unfortunately, but we can work with those. Doesn't that look pretty, guys? Isn't that so adorable? Lovely colour. And then with these, they remind me of hops, these do. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Drop one. Oh, and another one. I could bring those in. Oh gosh, they're so tiny. That's the length of the stem that they come on. And that's how they were when I bought them. There was in a pack. So they're very tiny. So I'm going to, I may bring the odd one on here as well. I'm going to bring just some as depth down here. For colour as well, incorporating colour on the inside. I'm then also going to bring a couple on the ends. Like so. I mean, I do like to, whatever I'm placing in and around here, I do like to incorporate them around these 2 end places, just, you know, for that flow. Now I'm placing these out on the outer side, but they're going to be used as depth. So I'm bringing these just here. So I brought those just like that. So we've got all those in. If you haven't got anything like that, you know, if you've got something, maybe just some more astilbe, or even if you've got lavender, you could use lavender for something like that on the ends, or anything really. It all depends on what, you know, what you're using, or maybe what your customer requires. So I'm going to bring in some of the watermelon, and again I'm bringing this on the inside, just maybe 3 pieces. I'll use a wider piece on the inside, so of here, just so we've got something covering around the inside of our wreath. Let me take that out again and redo it, guys. It wasn't grabbing. That's better. So I've just brought those in here, just around there, to cover that area, and I've got 3 left. So I'm going to incorporate these on the outer side. So 1. 2, and then our final one. I think I did it around here. Excuse me. So there we have our, now in our watermelon. Now we've got the hydrangea. So if I just place that over there. Now all I do, pull the heads off of the flower, and you're left with that. A lot of people do, you know, this because you can still tell that they are hydrangeas. I will keep that. And then I just get picks. 1, 2, 5. Oh, that was good. I'll get picks, and I will just, where the hole is that I pulled them off of the stem, place in, and then I have my own pick, and then I can then scatter these hydrangeas around. And this is all you do. And this is the same principle with anything for you new beginners that you may have. you pull them apart and place them on picks. So because now we have that hydrangea right in the center here, I want to bring this flower also up here, not all just in the center. I may want to bring it there, I don't, but then again I think it would be better off around here. So I'm going to just snip this, place this one in. Around there. Then around where this laurel is, I'll go just slightly, a bit there. One there. So that's 1, 2, 3. I've got 5. Four. With our last one, let's have a look. I don't know if it would be too much there. I'll place it there. Let me just take this dahlia out. It seems to be slightly loose, as though it's not really grabbing onto anything as I've placed it in. That's better. And then just place, I think, that there. So that is how we've got that at the moment. Now, do I add in? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go crazy with all the florals today. Excuse me. So I've got the little roses, and I'm going to bring these in. I'm going to, and I'm going to lift them so they're facing up, like so, and giving that look and feel that they're growing upwards or outwards, whichever you wish to see it as. So I'm just sticking them up, because once it's on your door they will be sticking outwards, so it looks like, then it gives that volume and it's all nice and fluffy, and you know there's lots there. Green. that one, and then I'll bring one around here. So then we've got the little roses as well. I think that's on the wrong side. So there are all our roses in now as well. We've got our calla lilies. Let's have a look. I do tend to like my wispy bits on the outside, you know, but I also do like them on the inside. Now, I'm going to cut all of these off the stem. Let me just push the leaves up a little bit. Now let's see, because there's a lot of purple on the inside and only this is the white around the inside, I may add in, let me stand above it guys to see. Sometimes I have to stand up to get the better outlook on it. Let's have a look at these. Right, I'll place these on the outside and use them still as the wispy bits. And that's what I'm going to do with our calla lilies. Still give it that lovely movement. If I can push this up. Some push-ups are a bit tough. So and it doesn't matter if some of these are, you know, sticking out further than your boundary. That's okay. You know, they're there for the movement. Like so. And then what I'm going to do with these, because they look slightly like they've got a hint of lilac on the stems, I'm going to bring these in on top. I think something's white's needed here where this laurel is. So we're going to bring things like that up here. Let's just take that leaf out. Just add it in. Just cut them all. Then you've got a bit of white on top as well. And they are quite airy as well, so, you know, that also adds a little bit extra you know, it's not a focal flower. It's just there to add a little bit of colour and beautiful interest. I think I want one here, so I'm going to place one here as well. Like so. And if you've not got these, you could use the gypsophilia, you know, or some seeds or little twiggy bits with floral on, or even some little daisies, things like that instead. I may as well use them all because it's so pretty. Let's bring one round here. More of like a wild look wreath, which is very, I love it. It's very pretty. I like things like this. Now we've got one left. Let's bring that on the inside. Bring that little wisping airy to it on the inner side. There we have it. And then finally we have our flocked ruscus. Now this I tend to use a lot of for just filling in where I feel it's there is a, you know, could do with something. Like here I can see above that it needs something there, so I will just place that ruscus in, just to add a bit of, you know, lighter tone and soft textured foliage in. And I'm incorporating it with it being light around the dark foliage as well. I want one on either end. Bringing some as well in here, not just on top and on the outside. Incorporate it within as well. Just push that one down a little bit more, that's better. I've got 3 left. Let's get 1. There. There. So now we've got all of our ruscus in as well. Now what have we got left here? Do we need... I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could place these 5 ferns around the edge, use them up, and get these in just around the edge. So let's see, could even bring one on the end there. I'll do that in a moment. So I'm going to go right at the bottom. There. Again, I'm going to incorporate one either at the ends of here as well. And also do the same there. So I'm just using these up and lifting them and putting them right on the bottom. And then I'll place 1. Excuse me. I can't get that one in properly. And that's not sitting right. Let me pull that out. There. And then we've just got this, just wondering whether to add this final piece in, cut it into 2. Oh, mind you, can I pull it out? No. I'm going to cut them small. Take that piece off of there. I should be able to pull this one out, yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring these, I'll just straighten it, here and here, and add those just in there. So let's just get those in. And then this one. can move one of the flowers up, if it will come off. Oh my goodness, so tiny. And then add that there. And I do have the leaves from the hydrangea as well, so I'll pull those off, place those on picks and use those up as well. So then we're using all of our elements. There's none gone to waste, or we don't have to put them back in or in our leftover box. So that's all completed. Now, I was looking maybe either side here. Let's just, yeah, we're going to place them there, either side of the big hydrangea, just here. And then do the same with this one. Just see, make sure it's here. There. So that, guys, is our project completed for today, and I don't want to add in a ribbon. I think it is, you know, ribbon, I love ribbons, I love doing bows, I love having bows, but on this occasion the arrangement, you know, the wreath is much, you know, better. It doesn't, without a bow, it doesn't need it. So I can put my ribbon away after. And now we have used all of our elements. So if I just lift that up, doesn't that look pretty? Even if you wanted it to hang this way, guys, on your door, you could hang it up that way and have this hydrangea as your central flower and your more, you know, your main flower instead of a bow, and have it hanging downwards. Or you could turn it so it's hanging this way. It's all your choice of how you'd like it to sit. I actually quite like it hanging from the top down, but on this occasion it is a crescent shaped wreath, so I'm going to keep it as that. Doesn't it look pretty? So let's just get our easel, place it on there. Just slide that up a little bit. Now let's look for our hook and let's see if it's, oh, let me just get that, guys. I can see one piece, two pieces of stem come through, so it's one, so just snip them off. So So let's see if this hook is in the right position. I think it needs moving slightly. So let's just take the hook out. Let me just get that out of the way. And I think it may need to be around, just around here. So I'll just thread it back through. And we'll try again. Why do I? Where's that long piece? There we go. Let's bring that in. I'm just going to lean it back a little. It's sitting too, that's it, far forward. So let me place that on there and let's have a look. So we'll bring the camera back up. Oh my gosh, I've done it again, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have got butterfingers this week. I'm trying to sort all my ribbons out and get them underneath my bench on a rack. As you might see, before I fill the cover. They're all there. So, I can't, if I go back any further, you'll probably get it all in. If the phone thing stays where it's supposed to. It's got its own mind. I'll leave it there, guys. I won't touch it. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, like I did yesterday. Sorry about the boo-boo with with my butterfingers. So, anyway, today here is our crescent-shaped wreath using dusky lilacs and whites with greens, you know, in the, and it states like a bluey colour, look like a bluey grey, but, and obviously like very pale lilacs in as well in the hydrangea. And I think as a dusky lilac, when I say lilac, pastel lilacs, I mean they're pastel lilacs. Now I've gone one, you know, a couple of tones below that and gone to the dusky look, just like you'd get a dusky blue, you know, or dusky pink, or you could call it a vintage lilac, like you would vintage pink. That's a nice name for it. But I think it looks a bit like, I don't know, is it like any country cottage type style, you know, with all different wild flowers in and everything. And I like that sort of thing. That's my sort of signature style. I like things like that. But if you enjoyed that, guys, and you've got any colour hydrangea, you know, any little flowers, they don't have to be the little roses, daisies, you know, things like that. Or these are UV, these are plastic ones and they're UV protected. But, you know, and they're just little like daisies, whether it be in oranges or yellows, whichever colours, you know, and then some little, add some gypsophilia. If you haven't got dahlias, you could also add big daisies, you know, if you've got those as well, or roses, you know, or peonies, whichever you fancy. or carnations instead. I've got something on my hand. And you could add those in. And that with the astilbe, if you don't have astilbe, you know, add lavender. That's another, because they look very similar. I wouldn't say they're not the same, but the shape. It's the shape that looks that's similar. And then with the fern, if you haven't got the spiky fern, you know, just add in normal fern. You know, it doesn't mean to say you've got to have the spiky fern. If you haven't got any ruscus, use ficus. You know, if you've got that, you could use that as well, or willow instead. And if you've not got the watermelon leaf, but yet you've got pothos or something like that, you could use that instead. So, you know, and again, if you've not got things like laurel, you could use, you know, a willow, a longer leafed willow. I have those also. You could use like maybe an oak leaf, you know, just a plain oak, green oak leaf to give it a different shape to the others. It's entirely your decision. You could go crazy with all the different ideas and different, you know, foliage and floral. But again, and whichever colour you'd like to do it in. So please subscribe, share and like, guys, and give it a go. My sister, since she's got the flower bug, I've called her now, she's my little sister who's a flower hoarder. She is buying artificial flowers like there's no tomorrow. She loves it, and she's got her own horses, and when she's done all her jobs at her stables, she's starting to learn how to make artificial flowers, and she's doing a grand job. She's obviously asking me for a few advice and things like this. She's sending me pictures, and I'm telling her what I think, or what she should put in, or what she should take out, what would add more interest, and she's listening to me, and she's doing a wonderful job. So so anybody, you know, if you want to do something like that, you know, you would have a fabulous time doing it, just like my sister. So again, please subscribe, share and like to the world, to anybody who you know, just so it just gets me recognised, just to bring them along, just to either watch, you know, they don't have to be doing the artificial arranging themselves. So they could just watch for fun, or if they are learning for beginners, you know, send them my way, and hopefully I can give them some advice, and also show them, you know, placement, colours, textures, line, you know, all those sort of important factors that you need when designing. So have a great day, everybody. Take care, and if you're outside in the English sunshine, enjoy it. Have a grand day. So all the best, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right, let's get closer. Look at the colour. Can you see the lilacs in it? They're very faint, and then like the bluey green sort of look. I think that's wonderful. Dusky. Then you've got your little dusky mini roses, and then they're the little plastic flowers. So if you've got anything like that, you know, in whichever colour you're doing, you know, they would look wonderful. Then your calla lilies, then your snow willow, then your dahlias, and they remind me of hops. And then your dusted ruscus, your spiky fern, your lovely gold purple astilbe as well, and these lovely little white things here also. I can't remember what else have we put in, guys. Oh, and we've got here, haven't we, our watermelon leaf and our laurel as well, with a bit of like a reddy colour on them, around the tips, which isn't noticeable. I knew it would be okay, you know, with the colour of what we went for, so I knew the reddy tip, you know, hint or tint, should I say, would look fabulous. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Again, give it a go in whichever colour you wish to do, and have fun. I'm sure it would look beautiful. So take care, enjoy the sunshine, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.